Hi, welcome to Bob Barber Jukebox Amplifier Repairs. And on the bench today we've got a rather nice looking fully restored bal-ami amplifier out of a J40. This was not restored by me, it was restored by somebody else, but it's come to me with a problem. And it's a lesson in don't go too far from the schematic. This is the lesson to be learned with this amplifier. Now the guy who's done it done a really nice job, but when connected to the mechanism it had a problem with the muting. After it muted at the end of the record play, the amplifier would mute, it would mute the signal, but then you would have this low level hum that gradually faded away for a couple of seconds immediately after muting before it went totally silent. Now, this was a strange fault. I'd never seen this before or heard it before. So investigating in the amplifier, I thought, well, perhaps they've messed up the grounding from the original scheme. So I disconnected the grounding for the mechanism supply and put it back over with the main grounding on this end of the amplifier, thinking that the rectified DC going through the chassis, which the chassis is the ground, is somehow getting into the signal path, even though the amplifier is muted, because it's getting in after the muting. You can pull the first valve out, don't make any difference, it still did it. So I did that. It did improve it slightly, but not a lot. It still had this hum after it muted, which was really puzzling. So I thought, well, it's got to be, and the clue is that it's gradually ramping down. So that's obviously as the HT fades away, because the valves are obviously lit all the time. So why is it doing that? And then in further investigation, which I probably should have spotted sooner actually, is this. He's altered the value of the main smoothing capacitors. And you've got a massive 100 microfarad capacitor in there, as well as a 47 capacitor. Reservoir capacitors, and obviously these take a little bit longer to drain down after the HT is removed, so the amplifier will still amplify for a couple of seconds after the HT is removed, and that's what that hum is. The hum is the actual DC supply to the mechanism interfering with the amplifier, because the amplifier should be off because it's muted, but it's not, it's still live for a couple of seconds. So if that makes sense to you. So lesson learned. I know why people put bigger capacitors in to cure the hum problems with the amplifier, or perhaps give it a more punchy bass, less sag, but it can cause problems by straying too far from the original schematic. Okay, if it says a 32 and you can put a 47 in there, that's not a problem. Not really, as long as it's not the first one after the EZ80, because that can stress the valve a bit if the capacitor is more than it should be. It should be a 32 there. So now the amplifier is live at the moment, it's on full volume, and I will press the mute button and we'll see what it does. It may crack a bit because this is an old button, we'll see. Yeah, it did crack a bit the first time. This is just this button. If I do it again, hopefully it'll clean it. So he's live now. Dead. Live. Dead. So no residual hum. That clunk is due to this button. The actual relay is clicking off cleanly inside with the signal grounded before the HT contacts open. So anyway, he's done, but lesson learned. I haven't seen that fault before, and thinking about it, it should have been obvious, to be honest. But you know, sometimes when you're looking for a fault that is caused by somebody else and putting wrong components in, it can be take you a while to suss out what's going on. Okay, anyway, it's all done now. Thanks for watching.